Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, the goal is no turnovers. And so whenever I set our defense behind the chains and kind of put us behind schedule, it's unfortunate and it takes toll. But it's something I can learn from and capitalize on next week. But at the end of the day, yeah, there's that one turnover where it's just a mental error. No need for it. The other one, 4th and long, it's a tough situation. I mean, I have to get the ball out. But it doesn't make a difference. I need to limit them. Can't have them. And so this would be a good game to go back and watch, learn from, and then go back at it next week.
Was one of those, I mean, you guys love to have the crowd noise and the crowd enthusiasm it was, but there was 2 snaps that seemed like they came early. Did your crowd noise almost play against you in those situations?
I don't know. I don't think it was the crowd noise at all. No, I think a little lack of communication, maybe some possible interference from the other team, but besides that, no. I think we love the noise. I mean, the record-breaking numbers tonight's such a blessing, and we appreciate that way more than anybody knows. So having 40,000 people cheering for the Rams at the game was something special, and it won't be forgotten.
How do you get past kind of emotional rivalry game coming out? Not the result you wanted, obviously. How do you move past this one?
Learn from it, grow from it. Remember the feeling. I think a lot of people don't emphasize that enough. Remember the feeling and understand how it makes me feel right now. And so let it be motivation for it to never happen again. And at the same time, by Monday morning, it needs to be gone out of my head and onto UTEP.
You mentioned that kind of that 24-hour rule that you guys talk about. Is that any harder when you have a loss like tonight, or how do you work through that with it being such a high-profile kind of loss?
Lean on the things you trust in and the people you can abide in is really what I'd say helps me get through it. I mean, it sucks. I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't suck. It's a huge rivalry, emotional game. A lot went into it, and so at the end of the day, yeah, it's tough, and it's going to be tough to get over, but we got the boys. Lean on the boys and rally with them.
Were you shocked by any of the defensive looks that CU was presenting to you compared to what you were seeing in practice and watching on film throughout the week?
No.
Okay. The pressure you were able to get on Shedeur, were you happy with that? It seemed like you rushed him, got him out of the pocket. Probably didn't end up with the sacks you wanted, but did you feel like the defense put enough pressure on him that you wanted to?
Yeah, I think our pass rush plan was to do what we did, and I felt like we got him off the spot and make some uncomfortable throws. So I feel like as a D-line, we got some good pressure, and there's a lot to grow from, but yeah.
Where do you feel the offense? Is there a little bit of lack of confidence right now, or where do you feel you guys are at?
No, just things to learn from. I don't think this causes a lack of confidence at all. Just unfortunate. It sucks. But we're a tight-knit group of boys, and so I think, like I said, lean on each other and trust each other. Don't lose faith in each other, because tonight there was some things that happened, and it's just unfortunate. And you got to move on and forget about them and keep trusting each other.
Altuve to take the top off the defense. Obviously, he wasn't healthy. Did that affect things? Kind of throw you out of rhythm? How did his lack of presence impact you guys?
I mean, I think we have a deep enough receiver room for it not to make a huge difference. Obviously, I think it's really hard to replace someone like 14. So it's tough when he's not on the field, but at the end of the day, I need to be able to rely on the guys who don't see the field as much as him. And, I mean, I thought the guys who stepped in did a phenomenal job today. They executed their job, executed the plan, and it's just some unfortunate sequence of events really led to the outcome of the game.
What was Coach Norvell's message to the team kind of in the locker room?
At the beginning or halftime?
After.
I think there's a lot to grow from. I think, like, as a team, band together and learn from this. I think going into next week, focusing on the next week, and we still have big goals, so trying to go towards those.
For either one of you, I mean, you guys have talked, you've been proud of being clean in terms of penalties. Too many of them tonight. What did you attribute that kind of setback to?
I mean, you said it. Yeah, too many penalties, and it's just mental errors, is all it is. I mean, we emphasized it throughout the week. Emphasized we had 187 yards in penalties last year against these guys, and so we knew that was a huge point, huge key to the game, limiting those unnecessary negative yards. And yeah, tonight I think we did have too many of them, but it's something we can clean up. And so we'll hit the film room, watch it, and then learn from it next week.
Gabe, I know you're kind of new to the locker room. Tough loss. Like, what is striking you about this team and maybe the character that they have, that the resolve that they continue to talk about after a loss like this?
I think like we have a lot of players that we're able to band together really well. I think there's a lot of leaders on the team, and that's really helpful. So I think continue to reiterate, the goals and all these things for the team. And going into next week, I think that's, turning the page tomorrow and being able to do that. So, yeah.
Gave the 2 penalties, the big ones, roughing the passer, and then the face mask that extended 2 drives. I mean, how much do you think that had an impact on swinging the momentum and obviously led to 2 touchdowns?
Yeah, I think obviously penalties really hurt you. I think we need to clean those things up. Obviously, we haven't had a lot of penalties going into this game, but obviously emotions and stuff get into it. So I think controlling those and be able to go into next week and continue to learn from that. So.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.